Prepare yourself for an incredible journey. The next few minutes are your chance to reflect deeply and gain a better understanding of who you are. We believe the lessons we're going to share will enlighten and change your life, so let's get started. In this video, we're going to show you 11 crucial things you should quietly cut out of your life. We invite you to actively join us on this journey by sharing your thoughts on each topic we cover and sticking around till the end of the video. The first thing to remember when dealing with hurtful people is that you shouldn't feel the need to defend yourself to them. If someone has made decisions that have offended and hurt you, even if they were someone you thought was a perfect friend, it's better to move on without looking for reasons. Remain cool and collected and concentrate on your personal development. The best course of action is to quietly remove that person from your life, as time will show the consequences of their actions. Focus on taking care of yourself and let the future reveal what's best for both of you when we allow ourselves to move forward without the need to explain or justify our choices. There may come a time when that person will need you and seek your support. In that moment, simply saying no is enough, and if you need to explain your reasons, do so. If this person failed to show character and broke your trust, you're not obligated to help them. We are choosing to bravely remove those who hurt us from our lives in a way that will support our emotional well-being and personal growth and enable us to move towards a more authentic and fulfilling life. By doing this, we are demonstrating deep respect for ourselves and our boundaries. It's important to remember that we are not obligated to associate with people who harm us or fail to value us. Each of us deserves to be treated with respect and appreciated for who we truly are. Second point, superfluous objectives. It's normal for this to happen because we don't always accomplish everything we set out to do, and sometimes it's necessary to give up some things in favor of others. However, it's important to quietly eliminate these pointless goals without making your movements known to the entire world. Don't leave clues or loose information, as this could reveal your main strategy. There will be times when you realize the importance of making choices, acting in a certain way, or staying true to your own path. Get more intelligent. During this process, you should discreetly eliminate less significant ambitions, gradually make changes in your life as the cards are dealt, safeguard your plans, and let authenticity lead you in search of the route that is most in line with who you are. Relationships between points. It's important to keep private information private and avoid venting to others about the reasons behind the breakup of a friendship or relationship, whether it be romantic or platonic. Regardless of the circumstance, the appropriate course of action is to analyze these behaviors quietly without sharing with others. If you have a problematic relationship in your life, it's important to remove it without broadcasting. The intimacy shared belongs only to you and the other person involved. Nobody has the right to know about fights or terrible situations, as this can only lead to gossip and make the situation more complicated. If you feel the need to talk, have a conversation with yourself and reflect on what happened. The urge to share might indicate that there are still unhealed wounds there. Breaking the news to other people, keeping these matters private and managing issues internally will aid in the acceptance and healing process, maintain the privacy and dignity of all parties involved, and look after your emotional well-being with wisdom and discretion. Fourth point. During times of tension, avoid raising your voice in front of others and control the expression of excessive frustration or anger when you are upset. Redirect that feeling into actions that will produce beneficial results. Use that energy as a driving force to achieve life goals and train your body to deal with stress, control your emotions, think about it, and channel the stored energy into something that makes you stronger. However, proceed with caution and discretion, as losing control can expose vulnerabilities. When things get tight, try to quietly ease the strain by finding solutions, respecting what and who is already in your life, practicing appreciation, carrying out your obligations, and using reason as your ally will help you avoid broadcasting your problems and find a means to release emotional pressure. Silently pursuing inner harmony and more constructive methods of overcoming obstacles. If you've read this far, I kindly ask that you post a comment to demonstrate your sincere desire for change. You may also like and subscribe to this page for more similar information. Together, let's keep going. Fifth point, don't share your thoughts about this or that with other people. In fact, you shouldn't even hold such beliefs in your consciousness. When you speak poorly of someone, you could have an insightful conversation or an interesting dialogue, but instead you choose to ruin the mood to express your dislike for that person. Please refrain from doing that. Instead, learn to be diplomatic. If you don't like someone, you can try to maintain a tolerable coexistence or try to distance yourself from them. Above all, always act wisely. If you have a problem with someone, try to have a conversation with them and try to come to a consensus. However, as previously mentioned, you should immediately discard any opinions or judgments you may have about them. Act diplomatically and demonstrate your ability to interact with people regardless of your differences with them. Keep your interactions polite and sympathetic, and you'll help create a more peaceful atmosphere and stronger bonds with other people. Sixth tip, try not to evaluate yourself against others all the time. Every individual should be respected for their own accomplishments and journey, without considering the paths of others. Comparing our lives to those of others is a destructive habit that can impair our emotional health, impede our personal development, and depress our self-esteem, since it puts us at risk of falling into the trap of unfavorable comparison. Concentrating on our perceived shortcomings rather than appreciating our own advantages and accomplishments, we become sidetracked from what really matters and concentrate on what we believe we should have or do, based on other people's standards, when we compare ourselves to others all the time. Remembering that every person has their own unique way and individual circumstances, and that comparing yourself to others is neither fair nor healthy, as each of us has different strengths, challenges, and life paths, can help us cultivate gratitude for our own circumstances and celebrate our own progress and growth. This stops us from moving forward on our own journey and achieving our individual goals. It is more fruitful to concentrate on our own learning and personal development rather than comparing ourselves to others. Seventh point, social media usage that is deliberate for a little period. See your life as a book full with amazing tales, learnings and adventures. Today, we view social media as a library where millions of other stories are shared every second. Exciting, huh? However, there is a small warning here. As we turn the glossy pages of these digital stories, we frequently find ourselves comparing our most difficult chapters with the highlights of others' lives. This comparison, which is frequently unfair and unrealistic, can send us into a vicious cycle of envy and dissatisfaction. It is important to learn to limit our consumption of these digital stories. Imagine deciding to visit this digital library with a clear goal. You search for exactly what you need, whether it's inspiration or information, then come back to reality. Your own book is the book of your life, but how do you do it in practice? Start by setting specific times of day to check your social media, instead of getting lost in it every moment, whether it's at breakfast, during a break at work, or at work. Ultimately, this will help create a structure that prevents social media from dominating your time and thoughts. Another effective strategy is to question the intention behind every online interaction. Ask yourself, am I looking for something constructive here, or am I just passing the time? Moreover, it's important to recognize the warning signs that social media use is lowering your mood or self-esteem. If you find yourself feeling depressed after using these platforms, it may be time to take a break. Use this time to reconnect with activities that bring you joy and satisfaction in the real world, such as reading a book, taking up a hobby, or just taking in the scenery. By implementing these practices, you not only protect your mental health, but also rediscover the beauty of your own story without the constant need for comparison with others. Stories, remember, each of us has a unique path to walk, filled with high and lows, triumphs and challenges, and that's exactly what makes each story, including yours, so valuable and unique. And so as we bid farewell to this topic, I invite you to reflect on how you can start writing the next chapter of your story today, with less influence from the digital world and more focus on what truly matters in your life. Let's embark on this journey of self-discovery and growth together. Take charge of your life with the wisdom of history's greatest philosophers, Stoicism. 8th point, the search for external recognition. We live in a world where a person's worth often seems to depend on the perceptions of others. Today, however, I invite you to explore the liberation that comes from freeing yourself from this incessant search for recognition. Picture it, a stage in the spotlight, a crowd of waiting faces all around you, each with an opinion on how you should behave. The only opinion that really matters is yours. This metaphor illustrates how important it is to recognize your own inner voice and place it above the external noise. When we base our actions and decisions on seeking approval, we move away from who we really are and what we really want. It's like we're constantly trying to wear an outfit that doesn't suit us, just to please others. Now think about the times when you felt most fulfilled and content. Those were probably the times. The essence of living authentically is being in line with your own values and beliefs regardless of what other people think or expect of you. But how can we put this into practice in our day-to-day lives? Let's start with small steps. The next time you're going to make a decision, ask yourself if it's something I truly want to do or if it's what other people expect of me. Then, learn to trust your intuition and identify your own needs and desires. Boosting your self-esteem and appreciating your attributes is another effective strategy. Honor your accomplishments and grow from your faults. Remember, self-acceptance is an ongoing process and every small victory counts. And finally, cultivate relationships that support and encourage you to be your best self. Surround yourself with people who respect your individuality and encourage you to express your true essence. By freeing ourselves from the need for external approval, we open the doors to a more authentic and rewarding path. It's a path that allows us to be the true protagonists of our lives, writing our own stories with the ink of authenticity and courage. And with that, we conclude this second topic, hoping it serves as an invitation to reflect on how you can live a more authentic life, true to yourself, away from the shadows of others' approval. 9th point, the way we handle our relationships, whether in friendship or love relationships, are like mirrors reflecting various facets of our lives. They contribute experiences that mold us into the people we are, yet there's a fine line between discretion and privacy here. Consider a relationship as a hidden garden where you can grow dreams, feelings, and memorable events. When a relationship ends, whether it be a friendship or a romantic one, it's normal to feel hurt, confused, and the desire to process what happened, but this garden is precious and deserves attention and care. It's important to keep in mind that the details of this shared story, the garden, belong solely to you and the other person. By refusing to discuss personal information or the reasons behind the breakup, you're safeguarding your own feelings as well as the dignity of both parties. Sharing this information with others can lead to miscommunication, criticism, and worse, rumors. Rather than promoting healing, this can exacerbate the hurt and start a vicious circle of negativity. So how can we handle a relationship ending in a healthy way? Prioritize giving yourself enough time and space to heal. Allow yourself to experience your emotions, but do so thoughtfully if needed. Seek the assistance of a mental health professional or other qualified individual who can offer you unbiased advice and support. Second, make it a practice to reflect on yourself rather than looking for approval from others or coziness. Reflect on the connection you've had and consider how you can apply the lessons acquired to advance in all of your relationships, even the ones that terminate. Ultimately, keep in mind that upholding discretion and privacy is a sign of maturity and respect, not only for the other person but also for yourself. As you close a chapter in your life, do so with grace and dignity, understanding that every experience primes you for future experiences. With that, we hope this concludes our third point, which offers insight into how to handle the end of relationships with wisdom and respect, preserving the dignity and privacy of both you and the other person. Point 10. Let go of irrational expectations. This is an invitation to embark on an introspective journey where we will examine how our expectations can influence and occasionally skew how we perceive the world. To begin, let's use a metaphor. Picture your life as a grand adventure across a vast ocean. Your expectations are like sails on your boat, guiding you towards your dreams and goals. However, when these sales get too big, our unrealistic expectations can veer us off course and into turbulent waters of disappointment and discontent. In order to begin detaching from unrealistic expectations, we must first recognize them, which calls for honesty and introspection. Unrealistic expectations are like maps promising treasures that don't exist. They lead us to chase ideals of perfection in ourselves, others, and the situations we encounter. However, we should question whether these ideals are truly our own, or have they been imposed by outside influences like society, culture, or even the media. Do these expectations make me feel better or worse? Do they really represent who I am and what I value? The next stage is to learn to accept who you are, where you are in your journey, and the circumstances that are beyond your control. This doesn't imply giving up on your goals. Rather, it means acknowledging and appreciating the road there, with all of its flaws and difficulties. Additionally, it's critical to develop the ability to set reasonable and doable goals, objectives that align with your own essence rather than a romanticized notion of success. This also involves celebrating the little victories along the way and acknowledging that each step, no matter how small, is valuable progress. Finally, remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. By letting go of unrealistic expectations, you allow life to flow more naturally and peacefully, opening up space for surprises and joys that couldn't be planned. With that, we conclude this fourth point in the hopes that it will inspire you to navigate life with sails adjusted to reality and appreciate the beauty of the journey with all its twists and turns and discoveries. 11th point. As we move into a topic that is frequently ignored in our day-to-day interactions, but that has a big impact on our relationships and well-being, we'll talk about how choosing to avoid engaging in gossip and the spread of negativity can not only improve our mental health, but also enhance the quality of our relationships. When we choose to express words of encouragement, support, and optimism, we should consider each word as a seed we sow in the gardens of our own and other people's lives. We sow the seeds of understanding and kindness, and we sow the weeds of misunderstandings when we gossip or speak negatively. Mistrust and conflict. Gossiping may appear innocent or even like a way to connect with people, but it's actually a two-way street that breeds disrespect and a devaluation of both ourselves and other people. Moreover, by dwelling on negativity, we foster a mindset that makes it difficult for us to see the good and positive things around us. How can we avoid taking this route and instead choose a more constructive one? First, it's important to be aware of the conversation we partake in when a dialogue begins to veer into gossip or unnecessary criticism. Try gently changing the subject or highlighting something positive about the person or situation in question. Additionally, practice empathy before speaking or sharing something about someone. Ask yourself, this is what I once said about me. The last crucial step is to create a positive environment around yourself by surrounding yourself with people who value positivity and authenticity in interactions. By doing so, you can create a culture of mutual respect and support. This simple question can be a powerful guide to keeping our conversations respectful and constructive. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell to be notified of new videos, and of course leave your like and comment.